You're listening to the Happy Tracks podcast. In this episode, I dive into the one thing women love to hate the most, their bodies, and how you can start loving yours today. This episode is one that everyone needs to hear. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm Taylor, founder of the travel blog Taylor's Tracks, personal development junkie, and pursuer of happiness. I help women have breakthrough experiences so that you can live a happier and healthier life that is so good you won't need a vacation from it. I believe that happiness is an inside job, so this podcast is dedicated to delivering weekly actionable tips that combine spirituality, personal development, and well-being practices that will help you live your best life, find pure joy every day, and realize your true power. Are you ready to meet your best self? Let's get started. This is the Happy Tracks podcast. Hello, beauties, and welcome back to the podcast. I am so grateful to have you here as always, and I'm really excited, as I am. I think I say that every episode for this episode because this one is really personal to me and really hits home and is really where I started my own self-love journey and my whole personal development journey, and is one that, like in the intro I said, is something that I think everyone should listen to. Not just women, but men as well, because I had a conversation not too long ago with a friend about his body confidence and things that he worried about, and it was just so interesting to hear how males can be worried about the same things as females, like stretch marks and love handles. And it just completely opened my eyes to a world that women, I think, sometimes like to ignore. We like to believe that we're the only ones that have all the pressure on us to look a certain way, when that's not the case. So regardless of your gender, this is a great episode for you to listen to. And I got the idea to record this episode when I did a post on Instagram the other day. For a long time, like at least a few months, I've really been feeling this urge or this call to do a lingerie photo shoot or boudoir, whatever you want to call it, and to share those on social media, not because I think it's sexy and cool to show off my body like that or for other people to do that, but just because I believe that showcasing a body like mine, of my size, with my curves, and just how it looks was or is important for other women to see. Because one of the most disappointing things for me personally, and I'm sure a lot of you can agree, is that you see the same type of body on social media, in the media, everywhere, all the time. And it can be absolutely infuriating and so frustrating to not see your own body recognized and shown to you, and it makes you feel like an outsider. It makes you feel like something's really wrong with you, when really that's not the case. And for me, this has been coming up a lot in the yoga community lately. Like, I'm so sick of seeing the same freaking type of body all the time, when yoga is really a practice that is meant for everybody and every body. So I did this post and I just wanted to read it to you now because I think it's worth hearing again if you've already read it, and if you haven't, then just take a listen. Here goes. Here's your daily reminder that your body is just that, a body. Your worth is not determined by how flat your stomach is. Your attractiveness is not determined by how perky your boobs are. Your love is not determined by how little you jiggle. Your sexiness is not determined by how curvy you are. Your beauty is not determined by the color of your skin. Your intelligence is not determined by the shape of your eyes. Your confidence is not determined by how strong you are. Your power is not determined by how tall you are. Your life is not defined by how you look. Loving your body is a choice, beautiful. It's a choice that you make each and every single day. Some days your choice may be to hate it. Others, it may be okay to like it. Some you love it, and others you may want to change it. I hated my body for years, and it was when I was at my heaviest that I began to love it. Rolls, stretch marks, and all the parts we're told not to like about ourselves. And girl, let me tell you, I completely transformed my life. Choose love, and you will always radiate the confidence, sexiness, power, and beauty that you so desire. So, I wanted to break it all down for you with a few steps and actionable tools that you can start using today to start loving your body, because I believe the body is really the barrier that a lot of women have, men maybe too, for loving themselves and really gaining that confidence. So if you can't walk out into the world loving yourself and with confidence, or if you can't walk out, or when you walk out into the world feeling like you look like shit, it often extends to a feeling of not feeling worthy, not feeling loved, not feeling good enough, like all these different things we attach to our image. So when you can come back to your body, when you can come back to that sense of wholeness and love and appreciation and gratefulness for your body, is really when your confidence will start to skyrocket and your love will start to skyrocket and expand outwards for you and into all areas of your life. So this is why I believe loving your body is really the first step to confidence and self-love, and to really just taking control of your life and owning it, owning yourself, and just rocking how you are all the time. And that is so freaking magnetic to other people, and that's really what transforms the other areas of your life as well. So into the tips. Actually, no. First, I'm going to explain a little bit about my background with my body. So for those of you that don't know, I used to be a competitive dancer through elementary school and most of high school. I used to be a dance teacher as well. I dabbled a little bit in cheerleading, though I never did it seriously. So I was really around and in a practice that my body was everything, because I had to move it and I also had to show up on stage. So I had to be healthy and I also had to look good. So though we weren't being like judged and marked on like what our actual bodies looked like, you were judged and marked based on your appearance. So how the costumes looked, how your hair looked. It wasn't the best thing always. And to grow up in a space where I was always wearing tight clothes like tights and bodysuits, and we were always told in ballet class to take off our layers. We weren't really allowed to hide our bodies because our teachers wanted to be able to see that we were doing our form correctly, and so on and so on. And I was always yelled at by this one teacher and was told, "Suck in your gut, I can see your dinner." And that, I've done energy healing, and that moment, those words, and dance as a whole really affected how I saw my body and how I was brought up with my own body image, because I was quite young when I started dance. And this is something that I carried with me forever. So if you're just beginning to explore this, if you're just beginning to be okay with who you are, know that it's okay just to be okay with what you look like and who you are. You do not just switch to love and confidence automatically. Honey, this is a process. You are a work in progress. Always. Remember that. So be compassionate with yourself. Know that there were things in the past that you could have trapped in yourself as trauma, like comments that your mom or dad or teachers or friends or acquaintances, anyone could have made that are still directly affecting you. So perhaps it's worth going back and exploring some of those things, or perhaps you just need to move forward and forget about those things. Remember or tap into what works for you. So for as long as I can remember, I've hated my body. I have always thought I was fat. Always. And it is something that still comes up every so often, but I now have the tools to help me feel better and feel okay. Because remember, I'm a work in progress, just like you are too. And now I don't even use the word fat as something bad. I'm like, yeah, I've got fat on my body. I am aware. Thanks for telling me what I'm already aware of. And I just completely, like, I don't use the word fat with a negative connotation anymore. So you have the power to change what words mean what to you as well. Because when you give them meaning, you give them power. And when someone else uses that word on you, trying to hurt you, you're giving them that power. So on to the tips. The first tip that I have, I've shared before, but not specifically for body confidence, and that's mirror work. So you can jump right into it if you want to, or you can slowly step into it. And by jump into it, I mean strip naked, stand in front of your mirror, and just look at yourself. If that's too much for you, if you're like, whoa, girl, I haven't seen myself naked in a really long time, that's too much for me to handle, no problem. Do it fully clothed, do it with a parka on, whatever you've got to do to be okay with it, and then slowly begin to take the layers off over time. I recommend standing in front of your mirror, full body mirror, if you have one, and just look at yourself for 5 minutes. When the alarm goes off, that's it, you're done. 5 minutes of your day, that's all it takes. You do not have to say anything. You just have to look at yourself. And don't allow yourself to get distracted by all the other things in your mirror that you see around you. Look at yourself. Every inch, every dimple, every bump, every scar, every curve, every line. Really notice yourself, because there is so much that we're disconnected from with our bodies because we never take the time to fully look at them. You're just looking at other people's bodies online and on the TV, and you go, oh, no, I don't look like that. No, you don't, but you don't really know what you look like because you don't take the time to do it. I'm not saying that's everyone, but a lot of people, this is the case. So can you dedicate 5 minutes a day to just looking at yourself? Maybe do a little jiggle, a little dance, see what moves where when you do what. Put on some music that's uplifting or dancey, whatever it is that gets you in a good mood looking at yourself. Tip number 2 is to take pictures of yourself that you really love so that you can go back and look at these pictures after and be like, damn, look at me rocking it. And if you don't love them at first, that's okay. Keep taking pictures at different angles, different poses, work it all the time, put on an outfit that feels really great, and you will begin to love them. This is really just a tool, like mirror work is as well, to get comfortable with yourself. And looking back on them, I do this all the time. I'm like, damn, I look fine. Like for me personally, I love doing this in lingerie. I buy lingerie for myself all the time, and I take sexy pictures for myself because one day I realized, I'm only taking sexy pictures for other people. Why aren't I taking them just for me? Why do I need someone to send sexy pictures to when I can just look at myself and, dare I say, turn myself on? You can do things for yourself. You don't need anyone else to do anything for. Tip number 3 is to touch yourself. And no, this does not have to be in a sexual way. Though if that's your jam and that's what you want to do, go for it. Masturbation and self-pleasure is really good and healthy for you. And women, we have an organ. Our clitoris is actually the only organ on a male or female body that is designed purely for pleasure. Use it. You deserve to. And it's good for your brain, it's good for your body, it's good for a lot of things. This is a whole other topic I could go really deep into, but love yourself. For those of you who are like, nah, don't feel like doing that, or you're just not in the mood, because there are days that you don't want to do it. I get it. Just hold yourself, touch yourself, hold your boobs. If you're not watching this video, I'm just sitting here holding my boobs. But the first coach that I had, she told me to close my eyes, hold my boobs, and just sit somewhere that was comfortable and really tap into my intuition that day. Because your boobs are right around your heart, right in your heart space. And you can really begin to connect to yourself through that. If that's too much, just really begin to get sensual. Can you run one of your hands down your other hand and down your arm? Or can you sit in a bath and just rub your leg? Or just begin to notice all the different sensations that you get from touching yourself. It could also just be holding yourself as well. Something that I did a lot in the beginning, actually I still do a lot now, is I'll hold my tummy, because my tummy is my, how can I say this in a kind way? It's the part of my body that I like the least. It's not my favorite part. And it's that what fitness people would call the trouble area. It's where I tend to hold a lot of my weight, and where I've been told is where women aren't supposed to hold weight. So there's a lot of negative shit hanging around what I believe about my tummy. So I'll just hold my hands on my tummy. You can do this for any part of your body that you don't particularly love yet. Just maybe close your eyes, or you can even do this when you're having a conversation with someone, or like you're out in public. Place your hand wherever it is and just say in your head or out loud, I love you. Just simple as that. I love you. You could add a simple because and list some reasons, or it could be, I'm grateful for you, or I appreciate you because. Whatever it is that you need to tell yourself to help you get more comfortable and into a more loving space with that part of your body, girl, do it. I don't care how crazy you think you are, just do it, because it's life-changing. So tip number 4 is to dress for yourself and wear clothes that actually fit. So I mentioned earlier how I really love to wear lingerie. I dress up for myself all the time. You don't know what I'm wearing under my clothes, but I feel fucking fabulous under my clothes, with my clothes as well. But I'm wearing some cute little black underwear or bra, not right now, but I have one of my favorite go-to pieces, or I'll get bralettes that I just feel like uber sexy in, and I'm the only one who knows how sexy I look, and that's enough, because I'm just doing it for me. It's so much more special just because it's for me. And I also wear clothes that feel really good for me as well. So tap into your intuition or journal on this and figure out what kind of clothes you feel really good in. For me, I don't like tight shit. I really like something that's flowy and sexy, but I also love something that comes in at my waist because it accentuates a smaller part of my body, and I think it makes me look really good. So what works for you and what are you comfortable with? And I added in the piece, wear clothes that actually fit, because if you gain weight and you're still wearing clothes that are really tight or don't fit you or are 2 sizes too small, how is that gonna make you feel? Like a freaking sausage? Been there, I know what it feels like, and that does not make me feel sexy. So I go out, I buy something that makes me feel good, and then I feel good every day I wear that piece. Find clothes that you absolutely love, and if you wear them over and over and over, who gives a shit? Style it with accessories or just wear it the same way every single time. Honestly, I wear the same pair of denim shorts like 5 days a week because I love them, I'm comfortable in them, and I feel great in them, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. So what is your style? What is truly your style? And what feels good? Go through your closet and get rid of the shit that you don't wear that doesn't fit, because you do not need to be reminded of that. And really take note of the pieces that you feel awesome in when you put them on, because you deserve to feel awesome every single day. Tip number 5 is affirmations. So you can do this with your mirror work or when you're touching yourself, like I mentioned, how I hold my belly and say I love you. Just have a list of things. This can be mentally or like notes on your phone of things that you say to yourself to help you get to a more loving space with your body. And like I said earlier, it's okay just to be okay with your body. You're not going to jump from self-hate to self-love by tomorrow, honey. It doesn't work like that. Work in progress, always. Always. And even when you get to self-love, you still have to work on it, because there's still shit that's programmed in your mind from when you were young or from that commercial that you watched yesterday that you're fighting against and working to get rid of. So what things can you say to yourself that will get you to that more loving place? It can be, I love myself. I love my body. If that seems too far, like when you say affirmations, you do not have to believe them, because it's the repetition over and over and over that gets you to believe them. So you can also say something that seems a little bit more believable to you right now as well. Like, I am so grateful that I can move my body. Because remember, not everyone can walk. Not everyone can do a push-up. I still can't even do a full push-up yet, so no judgment if you can't. There are so many things that some people can or can't do with your body, so be grateful for what you have. Be grateful that your body does so many things just naturally for you. Like your skin is rejuvenating itself all the time. It tells you when you need to go to the bathroom. It tells you when you're hungry. Your hair just grows. It just does that unconsciously. Like, your body's fucking amazing. When do you appreciate it? When do you tell it that you love it? Probably rarely or never, right? So tell it. Your body is listening. Your mind is learning. Your brain is functioning with the thoughts that you feed it. So feed it good thoughts, not just repeating what the freaking media is saying and what companies are telling you to sell you shit. Feed it good thoughts. Always, as much as you can. Tip number 6 is to move it. The more you move your body, the more that you're moving negative energy up, out, and away from you, and the more that you can begin to appreciate what your body really can do for you. You know, I'm a huge fan of yoga, but I also love dance parties because they're so simple. And the more you move it, the more you get into it, like really begin to explore what your body can do, how it can move. Oh, it can go that way. It can go that way. Okay, it jiggles when I do this. Cool. I look really strong when I do that. Awesome. Get to know your body and how it works. Don't just repeat the same moves over and over and over. Be grateful that you can change it up and do different things. Even when you're hurt, learn to appreciate how your body adapts and functions other ways. Man, bodies are just so freaking cool. I get so amazed with bodies all the time. Like, we as humans, wow, we just have so much access to stuff because of our bodies. It's incredible. Tip number 7. Oh, I've kind of already covered this, but remember all the things it can do for you and be grateful and appreciate it. If you need to write these down in a list and say them to yourself as you're doing your mirror work, do it. This adds like an extra level of impact that's freaking incredible. And my final tip, number 8, is to follow a diverse range of accounts. So I noticed not too long ago that when I would open up my social media, I follow a lot of yoga accounts, and a lot of them are the same body type, which is a very slim and trim, skinny, whatever word you want to use, woman who usually has a small chest and not too much of a booty. And I do not look like that. And that's fine that those people are doing yoga and that they are teaching people yoga and that they have their accounts, because there are people out there that have the same type of body as these people and they get to see their body. But I want to see women who have boobs and butts and guts and thick thighs who can do yoga as well, because subconsciously I need that reminder. And it's better for me to have that reminder that, oh, if that person can do it, I can do it too. When I see someone who's really slim doing this stuff, a lot of the times and a lot of women like to do this, be like, oh, she can only do this because she looks like that or because she's that size. Not freaking true. There are so many things that I didn't think I could do in yoga because I was not strong enough or too fat to do them. Yeah, that wasn't the case. Turns out I just have shorter arms. So a lot of the things they're just not accessible to me. And my fat, yeah, sure, sometimes it gets in the way, but there are still so many things I can do. So following accounts, yoga accounts specifically, that have bodies of different shapes and sizes was really important to help me subconsciously get that into my mind more. And not just yoga. There are so many different accounts that you can follow that are body positive. I recommend following accounts that look like you, but also have people whose bodies look different than yours as well, so that you become less judgmental of your body and other people's bodies as well. So I feel like I talked a lot and really fast through this episode, but this is something I am so freaking passionate about. Because like I said, loving my body and becoming okay with it was really the first step that helped me with not just body confidence and love, but self-love and confidence for all other areas of my life. And I have no doubt that it can and will do the same for you as well. You do not have to listen to the media. You do not have to be like the people on social media. You have all the power in you already and you have all the confidence and love in you already. You just have to tap into it and reteach yourself and unlearn all that other shit that you learned growing up to get to the place that you want to be with your body. I really hope this episode served you. I know this is a message that you're probably going to need to listen to again. And if there's anyone else in your life that you think would benefit from this, I'd be so freaking grateful if you shared this with them, because all women need to be confident in their bodies, because our bodies are freaking amazing. Like, we can birth children. That is incredible. The shit our bodies can do. I could go on a whole other tangent talking about how amazing our bodies are again. But if someone else needs to hear this, please share it with them or give me a tag on Instagram at Taylor's Tracks. I would love to hear some of the stories that you have or some of the breakthroughs that you have from this episode. It would mean the world to me. You can find more content on taylorstracks.com. And if you are loving this podcast, give me a little 5-star review and a subscribe so you always see when my new content is coming out. I love you guys. I am so appreciative for the absolutely beautiful community, women and men, who listen to this podcast, because it's you. It's you people that are gonna shine, if you're not already shining, and really help uplift yourself and others and make this world an incredible place. You were put here for a reason. You are here for a reason. And just unlearn and forget about all the shit that tells you otherwise. And remember, your body is just that, a body. It does not determine anything in your life. I'll speak to you guys next week. Have an absolutely fantastic